Hi everyone, this is Neil Bolger, and this is a introduction video to Comfen, a energy modeling software used to study single room models and single facades. This software is made by the people that make Windows. You may be familiar with Windows 6 or Windows 7, which is a tool to study glazing and glazing assemblies. And this tool essentially is made to study glazing assemblies and shading devices on a single room model. So it runs Energy Plus in a packaged environment, which is really nice because you don't have to install it and link it up or anything unique in that sense. But it's just a great tool for very quickly running these little tiny rooms. So essentially how the software works, it's fairly intuitive and it has nice round corners, so feel free to just bump around and see if you can break it. But essentially on the left here I have 10 cases, 10 scenarios that were built. This is a preset of scenarios that comes with Comfen. It's the natural ventilation example projects. But what these are 10 different shoebox rooms. So you can see here on the right, I'm looking at a face view of this room, but if I was to look in section, we can actually see this is how the wall looks. There's 11 feet tall, and because we're looking around the middle, we actually can't see any of the glazing elements that are in there. This one maybe not super interesting, but if we look at, for example, this one, case 2, these two windows are naturally ventilated. Looks like, I think, somewhere we can turn that on. There's two other lower glazing pieces of glass as well. But essentially, what I'm able to do is click and draw or just add new glass and type in parameters and then run scenarios to see how much energy that room might use in that assembly. I think I messed it up. So that little change there, just so you notice, deleted my runs for that case 2, and now there's a little triangle over here inferring that it has not yet been simulated. But when a model is simulated, you can see a summary of all the results, as well as you can start to compare results one to another, which is a really powerful tool. So why are we doing all this? So I'm going to show you all this because what we're going to use this a lot for is quick estimates of energy use if those are needed. More importantly though, you can get a shoebox Energy Plus model and then a number of other ones that you can make modifications to, maybe glazing or shading, or you could use the natural ventilation element of this. And then we can get data out of that Energy Plus model by either running it further outside the software to get things like operative temperature or interior glass surface temperature, or more keenly placed variables which can tell even broader stories. But you can get a lot without leaving this environment. So let me show you some of the ways you can see a lot of the results very quickly. So I'm going to grab some of these ones that I've already simulated just so we can look at them quicker. And so what I'm doing is I'm dragging and dropping them one by one over onto this right comparison tab. And you can compare at a time up to 4 models. And as you can see, you can look at the options in a number of different ways. So here we have energy use intensity. Kind of what we're seeing is that this whole building peaks right around 12. Seems fairly low, but let's keep going. So over here, this one around 13 annual energy use per square foot. You can go into energy, get a little bit more of a breakdown of this. It has a conversion to CO2. It'll show you seasonally. It'll tell you a lot of information. And each one of these graphs, I should point out, can be saved as its own picture, or you can save it as a CSV. So it's another great way to get a sense of energy use in a building throughout a year and be able to just sort of dump this into a report or into a PowerPoint or something like that if you're going somewhere and you want to grab some information. So here again, another very useful chart might be the monthly heat gains for all the windows. So you could see if you had different glazing types, how that might look, how the peak gains might be different. This could help infer what the peak demand might be for different thermal loads. Actually, that would be a very useful graph now I think about it, because because that could help define what shading devices are working and which ones are not. But there's a lot of things, so definitely play with this. I'm not going to go through each one of these tabs and what it can do, but again, it's just a very, very powerful tool. Last thing here, when you want to simulate, click on an option and then hit this lightning bolt button, and that will run the calculation. It will run Energy Plus. You'll see this little, here it is, this little window comes up. But essentially that's it. I'm going to run through another video where I will show you how to find the output files that this generates, and a little bit of an overview of Energy Plus, a little bit of a crash course. So have fun, get started, look at the projects and libraries windows. Very useful and easy to use. All right.